Welcome to the Retirement Resource Show, the place to come and live a retirement that is meaningful, fulfilling, and fun. We believe this phase of your life is the best time of your life. It's up to you. And we've got the show to get you there. Here's your host, Bo Henderson.
Welcome to the Retirement Resource. This is the place, we talk about this every week, the place that's all about living a retirement that's intentional, fulfilling, and fun. And I think today we got a good mix. We're going to talk about right now, we talked about this over and over again. If you listen to the news, you're hearing things you're hearing inflation, rising interest rates, bear market. And we're going to talk about the actual risk in retirement that we need to account for, some of the biggest ones. And then we're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk to some guests who I think you're going to love the story of them combining being healthy and having fun, doing things they love, and making an impact. So, Amy, I know you're excited about getting to that later, but let's jump into it.
I am excited about it. We've got a good show lined up here. And we did hit some hot topics last week. Last week was a lot of information and really taking a look at those scary words, what's going on with inflation, the recession fear, all of those things that we took a look at in Social Security. But today we're just going to some current event of just topping and what are those top risks right now? What are those 5 major risks? And we pulled up a survey with the research of Boston College. And I know, Bo, you're anxious to share what those top 5 things are that we can just kind of take a peek at right now to be aware of.
Yeah, you know, the survey, this is a Boston College piece from research that was addressing what are the main risks that people are dealing with in retirement. And the first one I think is important to talk about is longevity risk. And it sounds great. On one hand, we're living longer and healthier, but longevity, out of a 13 or so risk that we're accounting for, when we make sure there's no surprises or we've addressed everything we can, we consider longevity the biggest risk of all. Right? We call it the multiplier of all risk. Any ideas, Amy, why that might be? Why would longevity be our worst risk?
Well, because we kind of plan what money we think we might need.
Right.
Looking like, well, my parents lived to 80 or 85, so this is how much money I need. And all of a sudden, my grandparents lived to 103. So I already have realized, I better really take a look at that. Both of them live that long. And that's something I need to look at. Yeah,
just a couple generations back, people were lucky to live well into their 60s. Now we're seeing 80s, mid 80s, 90s. And like you said, there's people living in 100 plus years. So longevity is a very real issue. But why we call it the multiplier of all these other risks is because the longer you live, the more exposure you have to every other risk there is. So it's a good thing, but also we need to protect and make sure we're addressing things like inflation, right? And then all these others we're talking about, market risk. Let's go right to that. Market risk. So let's talk, all the conversations we're hearing today about, we're in bear market territory.
Right.
You know? The risks there's a couple things. So in retirement, when we're typically taking assets and creating income, okay, that could be from rental property, it could be from 401ks, IRAs, but that's the gist. We need income to live off of. Could be our pensions. I don't know. But the issue with market risk, especially in those accounts that are invested in the market, is the timing or the sequence of when we take our money out. Meaning, if I have my money in the market and it's down and I still need my $3,000 a month to have the lifestyle and be able to stay retired, if I don't have a plan for that or a strategy to protect from me taking my money at a loss, it could take an otherwise 20 to 30-year plan and cut it in half. So we got to pay attention, because market risk is something that if a strategy is not properly broken out into an income plan and a longer term growth plan that can afford more volatility, that could bite us and cause our retirement not to work the way we want to. Because one of the things we don't want to do, a little bit of an epidemic with this, is retiring and then realizing in 5 or 10 years that we spin a little too fast. And now you're in your 70s saying, okay, what are my options to go back to work at this point? Don't want to be in that boat, right?
Right.
This health risk, medical expenses, and long-term care. The last statistic I saw, a couple in retirement is going to need somewhere in the ballpark of $270,000 just for healthcare, not counting long-term care. This is in addition to insurance. This is just co-pays and extra expenses.
Wow.
So how are we going to pay for that? What is our plan to pay for that? Because that's a very legitimate expense. And I'm excited about our guest today, because one of the things we can do to at least put ourselves in the most favorable position to mitigate some of that risk,
right,
is to make it a priority to be healthy in retirement. And that reminds me, one of the statistics that defined retirement happiness or retirement satisfaction, the number one factor was health. And you think about it, right? If I'm not healthy, I'm not enjoying much of anything. I don't care if I have
what
$1
can I
million
do?
in the bank. All right.
Yes. Yes.
So you talk about just family things that happen, divorce, death of spouse, children becoming ill, all those kinds of things can throw a wrench in the works. I like to say when we're dealing with life and we're dealing with humans, it doesn't work out exactly the way we plan, and we got to have some flexibility and contingency, and especially that one, death of a spouse. Because if you're a couple, one of my favorite questions is to ask, what % chance is there of you dying one day? 100%. So then the follow-up question is, what is your plan for when a spouse dies?
Right.
Because guess when most people deal with it in this country?
We don't talk about it. We ignore it and deal with it after.
Right. Somebody's died. I get a call from a surviving spouse. They're more vulnerable in a situation with less options now. That if we know these things are going to happen, if we had the contingency plan up front, usually the surviving spouse will be left in a much better position. So we got to pay attention to that. And then policy risk. And that talks about legislation. Are they going to reduce Social Security? Are they going to increase taxes? If we have all these variables planned out and modeled for a successful retirement plan, but legislation significantly changes the rules, we got to be able to adapt and adjust because that could change things. That is largely outside of our control.
Right.
So I think the key as we talk about these risks is if we talk about them and we don't just let them be this scary thing that we know could be a problem. We say, okay, how do we create a strategy in retirement that can address and mitigate as much of this as possible? And we control what we can control. Right. A lot of these things we talked about, I can't control when the market's up and down. If I could, I'd be doing this show from an island somewhere, probably not, right? I can't control what legislation passes when, but I can make sure we're in the best position possible that if taxes go up, we're in the best position possible to mitigate taxes, so things like that. So I think the gist of anytime we talk about risk, they're not fun to talk about, especially, we're getting into death of spouse and all that, and some of these heavier topics is, have we talked about it? Are we doing the things we can control? And is it part of our strategy?
We just can't bury our head in the sand and we can't avoid it.
That's right. And then we got to go do what our guests that you're about to introduce are going to help us. You got to go live your life. You've got to enjoy retirement. If you've been around this show very long, I believe retirement should be the best time of your life. It should be where all the wisdom, all the experience you bring to this point. Now it's the time to do what you really want to do. Right. Reinvent yourself if you want to. Try on some things. I might go try to. I was talking to a client earlier. I might go try to live in an expatriate community for a year or two in Mexico, and maybe I'll stay. Maybe I'm gonna do an experiment and try it on. Now I'm in the position where I can do that. So I think that's what we want to do. We got to address the spreadsheet, the numbers, the rules within the retirement accounts, keeping up with current legislation. We got to address those things. But if we're not doing it in the context of creating a plan, creating the income we need to live the life, and we'll say it again. I think I've already said it 3 times. It's intentional. Meaning
fulfilling.
I do it on purpose. It's fulfilling. And I'm just biased here. I want it to be fun. All right. So with that being said, let's move on and let's introduce our guest. I want to spend most of our time today talking to them.
Oh, it is my pleasure to introduce and just give a brief overall introduction so you know who you're about to be speaking with. But we've got healthy and fit overall past 50 and a better swing in your golf game. So they specialize in helping middle-aged golfers struggling with back pain, poor mobility, other health-related issues to play their best golf. But their unique approach is combining the golf instruction, mobility training, and mindset. So there's a lot of mindset training that can carry over into all aspects of their life. Barry is a PGA of Canada golf pro for over 30 years. So he's definitely been around a few courses there. And Tammy as well, over 30 years as a competitive golfer. And she is a certified block therapist, fascia fitness trainer, breath coach, and yoga and golf instructor. So they both are very skilled in this. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Tammy and Barry Gibson.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey, Barry, Tammy, welcome to the Retirement Resource. I am so excited about what you guys are doing. Now, Barry, it sounds like you've been golfing for that. That's been your deal for a long time, as it sounds like.
It's been basically, I'm 61, and I feel 40 years old, and I don't have any signs of stopping. And I've been golfing since I was probably 10.
Wow.
And teaching professionally for well over 30.
I love it. And Tammy, you've been around this, and you're bringing a lot of your experience and expertise to this. You know what it sounds like to me, guys, when I hear what you're doing? It doesn't sound like a business. It sounds like a mission to me.
It really is. And, I just want to backtrack a bit. I retired from my 30-year career 8 years ago.
Well,
and Barry's always been a golf professional, but I worked in the public sector for over 30 years. And I retired right at 55. And I knew I just was getting into the best time of my life, right? And so we did a lot of stuff. I took new training, and I knew I just didn't want to sit back and kind of do nothing, with my life. I had a lot of skills I'd acquired over my years working, and I knew I loved golf. I loved health and fitness, and we wanted to work together as partners in a business that we could help other people enjoy it. And we'd been through some issues ourselves with their health, but we kind of overcame them. And so we figured out a way to do that, and we want to share that now.
And it was kind of the ultimate goal, right? You guys are doing something you love. Mm-hmm. You're helping others and making an impact here.
Absolutely. That's the whole reason why we do this.
Well, talk to me. I understand why golf is the way you guys kind of gravitated with the background, right. But why is that a good solution maybe for somebody in that demographic? We're talking about, we're talking 50 plus going into or looking, getting into that retirement window. Why is that the sport, you think?
Well, so many people plan for their financial retirement, but they don't plan for their wellness, and they don't plan for their health retirement.
Right.
And they need something to do. And golf's just a fantastic social game. It gets you out with others. It gets you, it's your own game. You're playing, outside with friends, and it keeps you active and it keeps you moving.
Absolutely. The social aspect is so important, especially as we age. Being socially connected is very, very important for keeping our health. Also, just being out in nature. Yeah. Being out in nature is so important for just your sense of well-being. Again, you've got some physical activity. Sorry, I couldn't get that word out. Yeah. So you're getting some exercise. So you've got a combination of all these factors together that are just helping with your health and wellness as you age. And for us, the overall writing word is having fun, right? It's about having fun.
Enjoying it, being active. Retirement isn't about stopping.
Right.
There's nothing to do with stopping.
And and when I see cases when people choose to slow down and stop, they get old fast. I've seen it.
Completely. Right? Completely. You freeze up mentally and physically. Yeah. And you stop living. You got to keep moving. And that's a great thing about golf. You don't have to be in the gym banging yourself against the wall or getting tackled or having someone take you out on the ice. You're outside, you're hitting the golf ball. It should be a lot of fun, and it shouldn't be too painful when you're playing.
No, that was my question. Is beyond Tammy, to your point, one of the worst things we see happen in retirement is if people start isolating, right? Yeah. And a lot of times when you leave the employer, people don't think about this because they think about the things they gain. They might gain some time freedom and some other things, but a lot of times you lose the majority of your relationships in your life when you leave a career.
Absolutely.
That's it. And golf gives you that connection. Or you can join a club, you can be with a group of friends, and that gives you that connection with people, and it gives you a focus for that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
Well, I'm curious. So I might be jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll go to full circle. But if I'm saying, okay, this is interesting, how would you take somebody that's there and say, I need that. I like that idea of doing something healthy, something social. How would you help somebody or work with somebody within your programs?
Well, one of the things we really stress is mobility, good breathing and posture and mobility and movement. That's real important, because I've worked with a lot of golfers, for 30 years. And one of the things people struggle is, I want to play better. I want to swing this way. I want to do that. And they physically can't do it. Not because they're not talented enough. It's just that their body doesn't let them do it. So then they struggle and they get aches and pains, or they get frustrated with it because they can't move properly.
And the thing with golf, when we bring people into our programs, some of them are already golfers looking for, some chronic pain reduction or some combination of, swing instruction, playing better, moving better. But some of them are beginner golfers too. And it's about making them understand that, golf is a game. It's meant to have fun. But it has all of these health benefits that can really help you. And so we talk them through, what is it you really want out of, if you want to take up the game of golf, then what do you want to get out of that? Do you want to compete? Do you want to just socialize? Do you want to just have the exercise? So we kind of take them through a process of about what is it you want, and then have them maybe set some goals around that. And then let's look at your current situation. Well, are you able to do that? Are you physically healthy enough to play golf? And then we kind of work through a process with them like that. And then we set up the program that can address their needs and get them where they want to go.
Love it. Okay. So it's kind of customized. I like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely customized. Yeah.
For each individual, each golfer. And it's not just about, making more birdies and pars, which is a lot of fun, but it's about feeling better too, and being healthier and living better, and using golf as that vehicle to do that for you.
But we do have some programs that are available to anyone, but they really focus on these 3 key fundamentals that we teach to everyone, whether we customize or not. And it's about proper breathing, proper posture, and mobility, moving your body. And we combine that into our golf instruction and the health and fitness side of things, to show people how these 3 simple things, not only can they make a huge impact on you, just being able to play better golf, being able to walk 18 holes instead of having to ride a cart, or, being full of aches and pains when you're done 18, but you take that off the course. It's for your everyday functional health as well. Now you can, play with your grandkids and run up and down the stairs with them and do all of that other fun stuff in life as well. So it's not just about golf. Golf is the vehicle, but it's about, your health on and off the course.
No, breathing, posture, mobility. That's huge life functionality, like you're saying. So that goes beyond the golf course. But one thing, guys, is I'm looking at you guys, knowing you're doing this business together. I have a question that comes to mind. Do you notice other couples doing this together in retirement, or do you see people trying to get away from their significant other and come golf, or is it a combination of the two?
I think so. It's probably a combination.
I've seen both, right?
Yeah, I see both. We do coach a lot of couples where they come together and they want to share this and learn and grow together, and that something they can share on the golf course, and also have some time where they can go play with the buddies and their friends and feel good about it, and they're comfortable with themselves when they're doing it.
We also get a lot of for me, I get a lot of women when I get into the block therapy stuff that talk about that and get their husbands involved, and then they become a couple in the program. So it works both ways.
It's a lot of fun. And I get some young guys too, and I'm 61 now, and I'm going out and playing golf, and I'm knocking it past these young guys on the tee, and they're kind of going, "Hey, what's going on here? Like you just smoked it past us, and how old are you?" And I tell them my age, and they go like, "What are you talking about?" So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I know I mentioned earlier, it was mentioned in the intro, like I've been a competitive amateur golfer for over 30 years, and I'm 63. And I find now that I'm more fit, healthy since I retired, and hit the ball longer and straighter than I did when I was in my 30s and 40s. And I know it's all to the work that we do to keep ourselves healthy and fit, and being able to have fun as we go out every day and enjoy this game we love.
Well, another something that's coming up as we're going through this conversation is, how does I'm guessing from looking at the programs, this isn't necessarily location dependent. You can help people virtually. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about that evolution, because I think of golf instruction, having the instructor at the local country club. Tell me kind of a little bit about, how can I do this? I'm down here in Georgia. How can we do this?
Okay.
Well, we got a lot of programs you can access online with coaching and training, and then now with the technology, like I'm coaching people all over the world.
Right. That's right.
With all these apps and two-way communication, and someone will communicate with somebody, whether it's through Zoom or some other tool, and
Just send your swing video in to him. He has his
I review
app
it,
that he
send back,
reviews.
send back that, and then we get together and talk about it and that. And I had a student the other day, I think he was in Florida playing golf, and he says, hey, you know what, Barry, take a look at my swing. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. So he sends me up this video of his golf swing. I could take some look. Oh yeah, send him some notes back, and boom, and away he goes, So yeah, it's, with the way the technology is now, you can have access anywhere you are.
And some of the other parts of our programming around the golf drills, the fitness, the exercises, and block therapy, that we have those all videoed online in the program, so you can just watch them at your leisure and do them on your own, and then we can get together through some calls and go over any issues and kind of move you along the program that way.
Yeah, so it's almost like I've imagined I've been in some scenarios where it's almost like a virtual personal trainer. You're just a personal golf trainer.
Yeah,
personal coach, and we want you to become your own coach.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just keep. I'm going off script here. You're making me curious with that.
I love it.
So I'm just being devil's advocate here, right? I'm saying, okay, Barry, you've been doing this since you were a kid. Mm-hmm. Tammy, you've been around this a long time, love golf. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to retirement. And I'll tell you, me personally, my story. I went to Top Golf a couple years ago. Yeah. And I'm an ex-football player, and I'm built kind of broad. Yeah. And I took a swing, and it felt so weird and awkward, right? Mm-hmm. So my question is, I'm imagining somebody approaching retirement saying, that would be fun, but those guys, they're just good at it, right? They've done it forever. Is there any scenario? I mean, I'm just looking for this. Hey, we've taken some pretty bad situations and helped somebody enjoy.
Because it's so individualized, and everybody's different. And we do a body assessment geared for you, and we get you moving better for you. It's not some preconceived package thing where you got to move this way and do that. No, it's about what you can do right now, and then how can we make that better for you?
Yeah. And so we look at your mobility, and that's one of the first things we do around the body is we look at the assessment. And as a block therapist, I've got training where I can kind of read the body in terms of just look at you standing, and I can tell you probably where you're going to have some issues or restrictions or some chronic pain potentially just because of looking at your body. And then Barry will look at the golf swing, and we can combine that together. And then, we know, a lot of people can be very, very strong, but if they don't have the proper mobility or flexibility in their body,
they can't enjoy it.
They can't get into the proper swing motion and hit the ball properly.
Yeah. And I'm trained in biomechanics and mobility assessments. So we put you through that. And your swing is not going to look anything like mine based on how you're built, but it'll be your best swing. It's built for how you move, not how I move.
Love it. And you're competing with yourself, right? I mean, it's progress. Can we move towards love it? No, that was because I was imagining somebody watching it saying, wow, I've got some shoulder pains and this and that, but I love that's refreshing. Hey, that's what we're here to do is help you come up with a program to progress action items for the, step 1, phase 1, phase 2, things like that. Yeah. Well, Tammy, I've heard you mention a couple times block therapy. Mm-hmm. And as you say it sounds good. Sounds like something cool, but help. What does that mean? I know that's something that you're integrating and doing in the program, but what is block therapy?
So block therapy is a self-care fascia decompression or fascia release technique that we teach our students. We use a wooden tool like this. It's called a Block Buddy.
Okay.
And so we teach them how to use this tool properly. They lie on this tool in different positions using gravity, but we also incorporate the diaphragmatic breathing teaching as well as postural alignment pieces that helps them melt through the layers of fascia so that they can get their mobility and flexibility back in their body to a point where the adhesions help reduce chronic pain and also improve their range of motion in their body for their golf swing and for day-to-day functionality. There's a lot of other components to this as well, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. But the cool thing about this is beyond what it can do for your golf game, it has so many huge benefits for your overall health because it helps digestion, elimination, improve circulation, improve focus and concentration,
relieve stress,
get rid of toxins out of your body. We store negative emotions and toxins in our tissue in our bodies. Through the process of working with block therapy, we release that out of the body. So it's just an amazing practice that nobody else does this in the golf community. So we've partnered with the founders of this practice and created a brand new program actually called Block Therapy for Golf. And we're really excited about it. We just launched it last week.
What I love that you guys are doing, it is so holistic, right? Meaning you could go from the perspective of saying, hey, you remember, I don't know if you heard me before we brought you guys in, but I was in some research was showing the number one determinant of retirement satisfaction was health.
Yeah.
And it's all from one perspective, you're kind of helping people be healthier, gamified by the game of golf, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly when we stumbled on this by accident 7 years ago because I've got chronic back conditions, herniated disc, years of struggling with that, not getting relief, living on medication, constantly going for therapy and that. And then I started using this. Pain is gone. I don't take any meds anymore. I don't even take a leave or anything. And I don't even see my physiotherapist anymore, other than play golf with them. Like I don't see, it's been life changing for me, and that's how we got into it. And Tammy got into it, and she had chronic injuries that she was able to overcome, and then we start sharing it with others, and it's been life changing. And
for golfers, it's as we age, we get more and more chronic pain. Right. The number one issue for golfers is 80% of golfers have back pain, lower back pain. Hips and shoulders are the next area. And so, you finally reach that point where you're retired, you want to enjoy life, take up the game of golf or even tennis or pickleball or any other sports, right? But if you've got these issues and injuries that are holding you back,
you can't enjoy yourself.
You can't enjoy yourself to the fullest extent and you can't have that fun you want. So we found through this practice that when we combined it in with the golf, it did so much for our health that we were blown away, and I had to become an instructor, and we just built it into our golf programs. It's amazing, truly amazing.
Like who likes to be constantly living on meds and going to the doctor? Sure. Like that's no way to live.
And you want to enjoy your retirement. Financially you might be set, but if, like you said earlier, if you don't have your health,
you got nothing.
Right.
You got nothing.
So this is a way that we can help people help themselves be healthy. We teach them proper breathing and the mobility and the posture so that they can help themselves to stay healthy. They don't have to be going to doctors and here and massage and that, and they can still do that. That's all good. I'm not discounting any of that. But this is something they can do for themselves and enjoy their life as they age.
Well, you guys, I don't think I'd call it retirement, but you guys are doing maybe some post-career stuff that you love. Kudos for being an example of that. But what's even more powerful than that is you're helping other people learn the same. I love that you're focused on this demographic because there's not a lot of people necessarily doing that on the health. We've looked for a lot of examples of people helping people in retirement be healthy.
Yeah, that's what we love to do. And we
do
it through golf.
And we do it through golf. We're golfers. We love them. We love sharing that with others. And we have a lot of non-golfers too that come to us as well.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Well, I live here in San Diego, so we have the opportunity to be golfing year round. We don't have a season that stops us from being able to join the course. And so you'd be happy to hear I have been back out. I am golfing again. Bo, it should come as no surprise that I have a pink golf bag, pink shoes, pink glove. Everything is definitely the right colors, but getting back in the swing per se. My husband's retired. I'm not, but what a great way for us to have that together as I prepare to be retired with him someday. That I'll already be in gear, ready to go.
Yeah. Awesome, Amy. That's awesome. And we're going to get that game in one of these years.
Yes. Well, we're going to go to another segment here real quick. Bo, we have our segment Best and Worst. And I thought what a great time for our guests here, maybe to give us a little snippet. So give me just a second as we pull this up.
So dramatic with the lightning. I like it.
Isn't it great? Well, Bo usually has a great best and worst story for us. And we have people send in their stories of maybe something great that happened in their retirement or maybe a nightmare that they overcame. But I thought it would be great if our guests maybe share a best or a worst story working with somebody out on the golf course.
You think come to mind?
I think one of my best was a young guy. He wasn't retired. He wasn't in his 50s, but he was ex-military, suffering from all kinds of injuries and stuff from that, and chronic pain, really struggling with his golf and off the golf course too, because of all these injuries. And he was shooting 100, lots of back injuries, didn't know what was going on. He was lost in his golf instruction. Started working with him. His mobility improved. His pain went away, and he went from first season I saw him, he couldn't break 100. By the end of the next season, he was shooting in the low 70s, and he was feeling great. And just because of getting him going on his mobility and thinking about that positively in terms of helping himself.
And I have a quick story of a guy I just started working with a couple months ago at the start of the golf season. And he reached out to me. He says, my leg just aches every time, I get in the back nine. I have to take a cart. I can't walk. I want to walk so badly when I golf. Yeah. I'm in so much pain in my leg. Can you help me? So we did the assessment and everything, and I got a program set up for him. And I think it was within 2 or 3 weeks, he contacted me and he says, oh my God, I'm walking 18 holes again. Like the pain is disappearing. Yeah. I'm walking taller. And it was so exciting. Yeah. And then he brought his sister into the, fold here with us as well. So it's like word of mouth, but we love hearing those stories because, we know we're helping people, and that's what we want to do.
Those are great. And alleviating chronic pain, that's life-changing. Totally. That's not just a minor. Absolutely. That's great. That's life-changing.
I was living with that. I was growing old fast, and I was really struggling with my back issues, and my doctors were telling me, you know what, you should be prepared for surgery and maybe being prepared for being in a wheelchair. And I said, there's no chance. I'm going to be looking for something else for a solution for that. And today I'm 61. I feel like I'm 40. I feel better than that. Like, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Like, so,
right. I'm 25.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so many's out here watching or listening later by podcast. They're hearing or seeing what we're talking about here, and that's interesting. I love golf. I just love the idea of being healthier, and this kind of sounds like it might be a great way to do it. What's the best way to engage with you there?
Just reach out through our website. You can message us through over50golf.com, get a hold of us, or through our social media. Reach out to us, and we'd be happy to get together with you.
And we also, maybe we could mention our book.
Yes.
Perfect.
I've got the link teed up in the comments.
So we, when we got into this, we wanted another way to share what we do is we wrote this book, Your Best Golf Begins After 50, Make the Back Nine Your Best Nine, right? It's about that second half of life and making the most out of it. And so we have a lot of little, tips and techniques and things in here that take you through some of the stuff we talked about by assessing where you're at, where do you want to be with your game. There's a little bit of golf instruction, a little bit of mobility drills and stuff, and kind of how to keep yourself motivated at the end. But so we have an offer for that anyone listening, we're offering this free, just paying the shipping.
Click the link in the chat. It's right there in the comments.
Yeah,
it is. We'll put it in the show notes too. Perfect. I love the name too. I like the metaphor of making the back nine your best.
Back nine your best nine.
Right? It's Perfect. The back nine of the golf course, but it's really the back nine of your life, right? The second half of your life. Yeah. So we were really excited about that.
So we got the book. You can check out more information on the website. Do we want to talk about anything specific to the block therapy? Is there any resource there?
I think we have also, there should be a link to the program we just launched last week with Deanna Hansen, is the founder of Block Therapy here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We partnered with her and created this Block Therapy for Golf program that was just launched last week. So we're super excited about that. And it pulls together the blocking, the golf instruction, mobility, breathing, posture, all of those pieces we talked about into one nice little program. And you also get this tool with it when you invest in that program as well. So we're super excited about that. It's a wonderful, great, basic introductory program to get you into this kind of lifestyle that we lead with blocking and golfing and having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to do it, optimize it, right? Optimize your health, optimize your life, optimize your golf game.
Yeah.
So,
It's just, feeling better it's just, we've been doing this so long, and we just feel so good when we do our blocking and we go golfing and engaging with people and talking and sharing this with people. But people like see us too, and they like, oh my God, you look amazing. You look amazing. Well, yeah, if you look after yourself, you're going to have your health, and you're going to get that kind of feedback from people.
You're your own biggest bank account, so look after it.
That's right.
That's right.
Most important asset you have. That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, one more time, I just want to say again, kudos. I'm so excited that you joined us on the show, because I think you guys are representing a great role model for.
Thanks for having us.
We really enjoyed it.
Yeah. We love sharing our story, especially with golfers, interacting with golfers, having some fun,
and we'll plug this out. So those of you watching, check out the website. Look at this. Reach out to these guys, Barry and Tammy. Thank you again for being an example of living an intentional, meaningful, and I'm getting the impression you guys have fun. So you guys are living rich life the way we define it. So perfect example. And even more important, even bigger than that, thank you for helping others do that too. Giving people, because sometimes people just don't know how.
Yeah, we're fortunate to do it through our passion. So thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Guys. Well, hope to have you back down the road sometime and get an update on what all you're working on and what's changed and how all this is evolving. Appreciate it so much.
Anytime.
Love you. Thanks.
Thanks very much. We'll see you again.
All right. Amy, what do you think?
I think I want to go back out to the course. It's beautiful here in San Diego today.
That was fun. That might have been the best example we've had of somebody truly stepping into that meaningful life. And usually when it's that mission, that's when you see it. So I don't know what to say. Great guest, good show. Let's just wind it down saying maybe with a challenge as we're approaching retirement. This is a lot of a retirement coaching conversation that we were hitting around today is let's start thinking beyond the spreadsheet. What is it you want life to be like? Who do you want to be? And I'm not going to be surprised if you think about it, you want to be a healthier version of yourself. And I think plugging into resources and making that a priority is going to make retirement much more of what we want it to be, the best version of ourselves. So thanks again for all you watching. Thanks, Barry, Tammy, Amy, thanks to you. And we'll see you next week right here. Same time, same place on the Retirement Resource.